Hi, welcome to Belfry. You've joined me out on the PGA National Golf Course today. My name is Chris Ryan. In this video, we're talking all about that dreaded slice. And I'm going to give you 3 things that you can look at or implement into your backswing, which is definitely going to reduce the chances of that ball finishing in the right rough. So we know that the slice comes because of what happens at impact, because of the interaction between the golf club and the ball. And if we don't change the impact, we won't change the slice. So changing the backswing on its own won't necessarily stop that ball finishing off target. However, many of the things that we're going to go through in this video in the backswing can definitely influence the impact, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do. Now, the reason I've picked the backswing here is because for many golfers, it's much easier to make some tweaks or some changes in the backswing. Very often the downswing happens that quick that we really just get to the top of the swing, and then before we know it, the ball's been hit, it's off to the right, it's sliced, and many of the golfers really feel that they struggle to stop that shot. So 3 things that you can do in your backswing, which I think is definitely going to help you, get that ball a little bit more in play, and certainly that's going to be a good way to lower the scores. So the first thing we're going to look at is how we control the club face through the backswing. Now, as you can probably imagine, the club face is a huge part, or plays a huge part in the golf swing, and plays a huge part in where that ball finishes. So it would make sense that if that ball finishes to the right of the target, we have the golf club face too much open in the backswing for many of these golfers. So here's what I want you to focus on. And this is really the first thing I want you to focus on. I want you to try at the top of the golf swing to get the logo on your glove. So in this case, it's the kind of tailor-made logo on the Velcro. That logo is going to feel like it points towards the sky at the top of my backswing. So that would look a little bit more like this. So my feeling is that I'm trying to get the back of my hand to point way up towards the sky. Obviously, the opposite to that would be the palm of my hand feels like it's pointing very much down towards the ground. I would also have the feeling that my thumb feels like it's a little bit more on the inside of the grip. Those golfers who really struggle with the slice, many of you at the top of the golf swing will have maybe a look like this, where the logo on the glove is pointing more out towards, well, the long rough over there. The palm of my hand feels like it's pointing more behind me, and the thumb is a lot more underneath the golf club. Those things, so the back of the hand pointing over there, the thumb underneath too much, those things are effectively going to have the golf club too open at the top. We're going to get too much shape or too much cupping in this lead wrist. That's going to, as I say, open the club face, and that is unfortunately one of the reasons why many of you will slice the golf ball. So point number 1 is try and control the club face by controlling your lead wrist, and at the top of your golf swing, I want you to feel like the palm of the hand is down, the back of the hand is up, the thumb is on the side. You're effectively trying to channel your inner Dustin Johnson, because if you take a look at his golf swing, he demonstrates this excessively. He's got a lot of flex or arch in his lead wrist, but for many of you who slice the ball, that is going to be a great feeling. Okay, so the second thing that I think is going to help you if you are a golfer who slices the golf ball is I want you to think about the amount of rotation that you've got in your hips and your legs. So if you are a golfer who slices it, there is half a chance that when you're making your backswing, you're not rotating enough through your hips, you're not allowing your knees to what we call change flex. And if we do those things, we can often see a golf swing where the arms are lifted quite high to the top and we don't get enough depth in the golf swing. Depth being how much the hands move inwards or behind you. So many of the golfers I see who slice the golf ball have a combination of the lead wrist not working particularly well, but not enough rotation of the pelvis. The knees don't change flex, and from here it's incredibly easy, I should say, to get the club a little bit over the top, swipe it across the golf ball and hit that dreaded slice. So I really want you to focus on a good amount of rotation in your hips, allowing your knees to what we call change flex. So my lead leg has increased in flex, my trail leg has decreased in flex. That has allowed me to get a much, much greater hip rotation. That's going to allow you to get some more depth from the arms, and from there I can guarantee you it's going to feel like it's much easier to hit the inside of the ball, which is what we'd like to get you to feel if you're a slicer of the golf ball. So more depth using the hips and the legs, that's going to be our second point. Now the third point is really trying to focus on how we turn. We're not going to go into it too much detail in this video, but effectively the later we hit the golf ball in the arc, so in that golf swing, the more likely it is that that ball's going to slice, because the club path is going to be more to the left. So a slicer will very often, as they rotate back, they will move off the golf ball. So you can see I've moved excessively off the golf ball. I don't recover that. And because I'm significantly behind the golf ball due to that early lateral move, effectively the golf ball is now being hit a lot later relative to me. The golf ball is a lot more in front of me. And as we just said, when the golf ball is hit much later in the arc, there is a greater chance of the club path being to the left. And if there's a greater chance of the path being to the left, there is a greater chance of the ball, unfortunately, finishing to the right. So, if you are a chronic slicer of the golf ball, every single drive you hit finishes to the right, there is half a chance, unfortunately, that you're going to do all three things. You're going to probably have a lack of rotation, you're going to have a lateral movement off the ball, you're going to have a very, very open face at the top, and this, unfortunately, is not an uncommon look for a slicer. From here, very, very easy to turn out the way, slice across it, ball goes very much to the right, it's very weak, we don't really feel that we get the distance that we require, and it's definitely a shot that you're going to want to get rid of if you can. So three things, all backswing related, which I think are going to give you a greater chance of creating a much better impact position, and if we can create a better impact position, we can create a better ball flight. Quick recap, club face control through lead wrist, a good amount of depth using the hips and the legs to change flex, and making sure that from the face-on view, the rotation, the hips and the head are not sliding too much behind the golf ball. We haven't got too much lateral slide. Three things which are definitely going to help you eliminate that right side of the golf course. Take it to the range first, because they will feel a little strange. So rather than taking it straight to the course, a little bit of practice, and hopefully you'll hit a few more fairways. Okay, and I'll take that one, that's first drive of the day, but it's probably, might just catch in the left rough, but I'll definitely take that. It definitely didn't slice, which is the important thing. So, three backswing things, if you can focus on those, I really think that's gonna help you deliver the club better, that's gonna help you hit more fairways, and as a bonus, you'll probably also hit the ball a little bit further because your efficiency of contact will be greater, and that's gonna increase the ball speed. So, hopefully that helped. If it did, let me know, click the like button if you did like the video, it really does help me. Comments box down below, any comments in this video or suggestions on videos you would like me to film, I'd love to get your input. Pop those in the comments box down below. And the last thing, if you're not a subscriber, absolutely free, you'll just get a notification each time I upload a video, and there's a link in the description box down below which will allow you to do just that. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you back here again soon.